Hey there, interwebs, and welcome back to How Fascinating. Normally I start these episodes with a question, but today I'll just flat out tell you that the theme is colors, though there will still be plenty of questions too. First of all, what the hell color is taupe? Up until fairly recently, I thought it was a sort of rusty orange-brown shade, and for a very strange reason. In the Dilbert animated series, there's a Bob Ross XP who suggests using orange to represent taupe, and his name is Rusty, which may have primed my brain on some subconscious level. This may be where the idea of brown came from for me, but taupe is usually sort of grayish-brown. I say usually because taupe actually comes in a lot of varying shades, and it might be one of the most nondescript colors we have. According to Wikipedia, taupe is a vague color term which may refer to almost any grayish-brown or brownish-gray, but true taupe is difficult to pinpoint as brown or gray. Thanks, Wikipedia. According to Sinful Colors brand nail polish, taupe is dope. It'd be most accurate to say taupe is the color of a mole, because it derives from the French word for one. In addition to standard brownish-grayish taupe, there's also the grayish-brown taupe, the brownish-gray taupe, light taupe, deep taupe, sandy taupe, mauve taupe, and rose taupe. If you transpose the words of that last one, you get the fascinating phrase taupe rose. In English, where adjectives generally precede nouns, it referred to a brownish-gray flower, but in French, like many other Romance languages, the noun usually comes first, and rose means pink, so taupe rose would be a pink mole. Speaking of pink, what are these? Any seamsters in the audience will instantly recognize them as pinking shears, as might those adept at arts and crafts. Why are they called that, though? It's not like they make the fabric pink, or do they? The word pink actually has over a dozen different meanings besides the color, and that's not counting the singer either. What pinking shears do, for those who don't know, is create a scalloped edge along the material you're cutting. On cloth, this limits the amount of fraying that can occur by making the edge many short threads instead of one long one. On paper, it just looks artful. PSA, never use cloth shears on paper, you'll ruin their sharpness. The phrase pink carnation is redundant in two different ways. First, both are colors, so pink carnation could be saying light red twice, but the color carnation is named after the flower, and another name for the flowers is pinks. This is where the term pinking shears comes from. Carnations, or pinks, have a scalloped edge to their petals, and pinking shears put a scalloped or pink edge on material. Sticking with decorating, pink as a verb can also mean to turn something the color pink or to become that color. Hunting pink is the scarlet color of a typical fox hunting jacket, and the jackets themselves can also be known as hunting pinks. Pink can also mean stab, both as a noun and as a verb, meaning to pierce or otherwise put holes in something. Or someone. If you're more into wordplay than swordplay, you can also pink a person by wounding them with satire, mockery, or ridicule. Bards take note, this is literally how vicious mockery works. If someone is adequately pinked, they may become quite pink indeed. Pink as a verb can also mean to pick things out carefully, like you're skewering samples. As a noun, it can also mean a paragon or exemplar, or either of two kinds of fish. Pink can also be used as an onomatopoeia, like plink, but good luck selling someone a pinking pistol. Actually, I take that back. As slang, the pink can refer to snooker balls, vaginas, socialists, and the gays, and I like all of these things. Let's now consider a truly ridiculous hypothetical. I might wish to say that small homosexual fish who are often mocked select hunting jackets adorned with ideal carnations which are decorated a light red and adorned with a scalloped edge by socialists with piercings. I could just say pinked pink pinks pink 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 pinked pinks pinked pinks pinked pink. There is another color associated with the word pink. In historical context, pink can refer to a type of dye or pigment in the yellowish-green range. Speaking of greenish-yellow pinks, another color which has historically given me difficulty is puce. Because it's one letter away from puke, similar to pus, and shares a primary vowel sound with mucus, I used to think it was sort of a gross yellowy green, and I'm not alone there. Malachi Buck Mulligan from Joyce's Ulysses wants puce gloves to match his green boots. In 1810, puce was used by C.L. Cadet to describe the color of green tea in the Medical and Physical Journal, Volume 24, but I digress. This color's actually chartreuse, which rhymes with puce, and that isn't helping the confusion. As with taupe and everything else the Anglosphere doesn't like, this too can be blamed on the French. I always assumed chartreuse the liqueur was named for its yellowy green color, but it's the other way around. Chartreuse the color comes from chartreuse the liqueur, which in turn comes from the Grand Chartreuse Monastery, located in the Chartreuse Mountains, which were named for the nearby village now known as Saint-Pierre-de-Chartreuse, whose name evolved from Chartreuse, which is of Gaulish origin, and that's where the trail goes cold. Puce, on the other hand, is a pinkish purple and the French word for flea. It's named after the color of one which is engorged with blood, or the stain left behind after you crush it. Next question. You want to see me winkle? To winkle can be a synonym for twinkle, but if it's not an antonym for tinkle, see a urologist right away. Tinkling is a cutesy euphemism for urination, but winkle means to extract or draw something out with great difficulty, not the sort of experience you want to have in the bathroom. Why does winkle mean to extract? It comes from periwinkle. You've probably heard of periwinkle as a color, and the color comes from the flower of the same name, but that's not the periwinkle from which we get winkling. That comes from Litorina litorea, better known as the common periwinkle. These are edible snails. Their name is sometimes shortened to just winkle, and to winkle originally referred to the ordeal of working one out of its shell with a fork before being expanded to refer to any process of physical or metaphorical extraction. They're also where we get the name of the shoes called winkle pickers, which have a distinct long pointy toe. Because winkles often require a long pointy tool to pick them out, the shoes are jokingly referred to as such because their long toes are so pointy you could use them to eat snails. That sentence is a lot stranger hearing it out loud. So what color is this? The keen-eyed amongst you may recognize it as my official background color of How Fascinating, but it's so much more than that. This color contains an entire universe of pigment, literally. This is the average color of the entire universe. It's called cosmic latte and was determined by a team of astronomers at Johns Hopkins University. Their first mistaken result was a shade of turquoise that I'd call cosmint. The name cosmic latte was chosen for the revised color, since latteo means milky in Galileo's native Italian and evokes the Milky Way. One final color I have to mention is amaranth. It's a reddish-pink flowering perennial, as well as a color named after the flower, but the color is darker than its namesake. Amaranthine is also a word which means amaranth in color, or everlasting or eternally beautiful, but amaranths are fairly short-lived, ironically. Additionally, when I decided to look up the definition of the word, it was Merriam-Webster's word of the day. That's the sort of shit that makes me paranoid. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a colorful day.